I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So today we're gonna play a game that I'm gonna call Relic Hunt. You've probably played a variation of it your own or something like it. I think you can find a version of it in the open war cards. So today we're going back to the cemetery world on this happy little cemetery themed board. So there are 6 of these mausoleum things along the edges, 3 on each side, and one of them has a relic in it. So one of the units will go up to the mausoleum, and instead of moving, it'll search. I'll roll a d6. On a 6, it finds a relic. Yay, a relic. And then a troop unit will have to come and pick it up and hold it until the end of their next turn, and then they'll win. If for some reason the relic is not found in any of the 6 mausoleums, and it is possible, my dice hate me, there'll be like a sudden death option, but we'll jump off that bridge if and when we get there. Yeah, so let's move slowly around the table and take a look at what's going to be attempting this today. So our Necron force, we have a Technomancer in charge of 3 groups of 5 immortals with Tesla carbines, 2 Hexmarks destroyers, a Locust Heavy Destroyer with the Enmitic Exterminator, and a group of 3 Tomb Blades with Tesla carbines. And opposing them, we have some Night Lords, led by a Master of Executions, 3 groups of 5 Space Marines. This one with the chain axe and the chain sword and the plasma gun, the chain axe and the heavy bolter, and the power fist and the autocannon, with a pair of greater possessed, an obliterator, and 3 bikers. So yeah, anybody can search a mausoleum, but only one of the Space Marines or the Immortals can pick up the relic itself, which is represented by the chest way over there. I'll show it in a second. When a troop unit does pick it up, it takes 2 of them to hold the chest, so only 3 can participate in shooting or melee combat. So our relic is going to be held in this golden chest. So yeah, I pre-rolled already for deployment, so the Necrons are going to go in this little rectangle here. Chaos is going to go in that open space over there. So I'm going to set that up and we'll start the search. Okay. So Chaos has arrayed itself here. The Space Marines in the back. Greater Possessed, Master of Executions behind them. Obliterator, Bikers. Kind of pretty much the same thing for the Necrons. The Immortals in the back with the Technomancer, the Bikers, and then the Locust Heavy Destroyer, and then the Hexmark Destroyers next to him. I decided to let Chaos have a chance to steal, since they've been kind of getting shafted in the last 4 or 5 videos, but they kind of failed at that too, so we'll go into Necron movement. So everybody on the Necron side advanced. These guys got pretty far. The Tomb Blades made it all the way over to a mausoleum, so next turn they can search for a relic. And all the Immortals just moved up a little bit. There won't be any shooting, so we'll go on to Chaos movement, turn 1. So this was pretty much just a repeat of what the Necrons did. The Bikers did not get far enough to get to this mausoleum, but I don't think they would have had the dice range anyway. Everyone else just advanced forward as far as they could. This Greater Possessed heading towards this mausoleum, and this one heading towards this one way over there. And then the Space Marines just following behind, hoping to get lucky, I guess, on catching a relic. So no shooting as of yet, so we'll go on to Necron movement, turn 2. So the Tomb Blades searched their mausoleum but failed to find a relic, so 1 down, 5 to go. This heavy destroyer hopped up here so he can search a mausoleum next turn. These immortals and the cryptic. Technomancer. Eventually I'll get that correct. Maybe when 10th edition comes out and they call it something else. This Technomancer and these immortals all just advanced up. This destroyer has gotten really close to this mausoleum. This destroyer kind of got up so he can go up to this mausoleum. And these immortals just kind of followed on behind these guys. So, still no shooting yet. So we'll go on to Night Lord's turn. So Chaos made some bold pushes forward. The bikers are in position to search this mausoleum next turn. These Space Marines and the Master of Executions and the Obliterator all advanced forward, hoping that that's where the relic is. But if it's not, this guy is ready to search his mausoleum next turn, and these guys are there to capitalize if it's got it. Yeah, this guy's a little late to get to searching that one, but maybe he can attack the Necron. I don't know. These guys are just kind of following him, hoping that he knows where he's going, maybe. So there will be one shooting attack, which will be the Obliterator here, shooting at the visible group of Necron Immortals right there. So let me roll that real fast. So since he advanced, that -1 even with assault weapons was kind of rude. So I didn't hit as well as he would have liked, so ultimately he killed nothing. So yeah, I'm going to go on to the Necron turn, and we'll start with this guy searching his mausoleum. Well, that mausoleum does not contain a relic, so we'll go with the rest of Necron movement. So, with failing to find the relic in that second mausoleum, all of these guys pretty much are swarming out of this little thingy here. I don't know what you call that. A corridor, maybe? An area between a barricade and a wall. I don't know. Streaming out of there in search of the relic. Each one of these hexmark destroyers has made it to a mausoleum, so next turn they can search. And these immortals just kind of moved up forward here. Yeah, people are indeed gonna shoot. That heavy destroyer is for sure gonna shoot that greater possessed. I think that's probably the only one that's really within range. Gotta check some measurements, but yeah, let me do some shooting here. So yeah, the greater possessed did take 3 points of damage from the heavy destroyer, but not enough to kill him. So we'll go on to the Night Lord turn. Search real fast here for these guys. This mausoleum does not have a relic, so we'll go into Chaos Movement. I forgot to search for the other mausoleum, but I rolled it and that one doesn't have it either. So we're down to these 2 mausoleums to search. It could go to the sudden death option. I'm still hoping not, so Chaos Movement. So Chaos is now making kind of an all-out push towards something. These Space Marines have popped up here. These guys are coming back. This Greater Possessed is doing something with this guy over here. These guys are kind of heading towards this hex mark over here. These guys can't move yet. So the only shooting probably that's going to happen will be the Obliterator to try and kill this hex mark before he can search. So I'll go ahead and roll that up. Well, it looks like the Chaos's chance might have been in vain, but anything is possible. The Obliterator did do some decent damage, but he failed to kill the hex mark, so definitely not really enough in range for a charging thing. That Greater Possessed advanced, so he can't charge. So that'll take us on to the Necron turn with these 2 searching. I'll do the search rolls. And here I was worried about whether I was going to have to go into sudden death or something. So this hex mark gained the health back because of living metal, and did indeed find the relic. So we'll finish out Necron movement. Well, now that the relic has been discovered, these immortals have popped up here to come over here and take possession of it. And everything else is kind of flowing outwards, heading towards these Chaos Space Marines so they cannot take control of it. The Destroyer is just kind of hanging out because I think he's going to definitely kill that guy. And Technomancer just kind of moved over to help these guys out with something. So we'll get into Necron shooting. It was a decent shooting round. The Tomb Blades did a little bit of damage to this Obliterator here. The close group of Immortals kind of ravished this group here and killed off 4 Space Marines. He's probably going to run. And the far group didn't do a single thing to these Space Marines. Nobody's gonna charge, so I'll do morale super fast. That's super unfortunate. He definitely runs away. No, running away. So yeah, that'll take us on over to the Chaos turn. So the Master of Executions has moved up, probably to charge into these Tomb Blades. These Space Marines have moved a little bit forward on the hill. These guys are just coming around the side of the hill between the wall and the barricade. This Greater Possessed is about ready to hop up on there. This Greater Possessed is super crazy because he's going to take on that Heavy Destroyer by himself. And somehow these bikers got up here without benefit of a ramp. I'm just saying they did some weird wheelie hop kind of thing to get up there. I don't know. So we'll go into Chaos shooting. The Obliterator killed a Tomb Blade, and the bikers did a point of damage to the hex mark, the green hex mark. The heavy bolter from here shot at the close group of immortals and missed completely. And the Master of Execution shot his bolt pistol at the Tomb Blades and missed completely. So that'll take us to the charge phase, which will be the Master of Executions into the Tomb Blades and the Greater Possessed into the Heavy Destroyer. We'll see how they work, success-wise. The Master of Executions managed to kill one of the Tomb Blades. He took 1 point of damage in return. And the Greater Possessed was unable to kill the Locust Heavy Destroyer. So that'll take us on over to the Necron turn, where hopefully this group of immortals will make it over here to take possession of this chest. I don't know. Necron movement it is. So these immortals advanced, but it wasn't enough to get to the relic. So maybe next turn. These Hexmark destroyers just pretty much turned around. The Cryptek hopped up here. These immortals just moved 5 inches diagonally to give them better angle of shooting, I guess, on these guys and that guy over there. That destroyer fell back. And this Tomb Blade fell back and kind of ran up on this hill here. So that'll take us on over to Necron shooting. So the 2 hex marks and this unit of 5 immortals managed to kill off 2 bikers. This unit of immortals managed to kill a single Space Marine. And nothing else was really accomplished, Necron-wise. I really don't see any charges going on here, so we'll go on to the Chaos turn. So, the Master of Executions has come around the corner here to challenge these immortals. The Obliterator just kind of scooted over a little bit to give him a better shot on those immortals. These Space Marines are coming around the corner there, probably heading towards the Relic. These Space Marines have just moved up for better angles of fire on the Immortals. And this Greater Possessed is slowly making his way over towards the Immortals. No Psychers, so we'll go to Chaos Shooting. So the one remaining biker tried to shoot at this Hexmark Destroyer, this green one, and failed horribly at it. Master of Execution shot his bolt pistol at these guys and did nothing. But then the Obliterator killed off a couple of them, two of them. The Heavy Bolter killed off another Immortal, and there wasn't really any other shooting of note. So we'll go into the charge phase, which will be the Master of Executions into the small group of Immortals, and this Greater Possessed into the full-size group of Immortals. So the Master of Executions made it in with no incident and managed to kill off the smaller group of Immortals, but the Greater Possessed got killed in Overwatch by these Immortals, so yeah. So that'll take us on over to the Necron turn, where I'm hoping they can finally take possession of this relic so we can start the countdown. So yeah, Necron movement. Okay, so this group of Immortals has taken possession of the relic, so 2 of their number are no longer able to shoot or participate in melee attacks because they're holding the relic. So if they can manage to hold that by themselves without losing it until the end of their next turn, then the Necrons win. Having said that, these guys opted not to move at all, and this destroyer just kind of hopped up there. The Cryptek kind of moved over a little bit. Extra protection, I guess. Oh yeah, the one remaining Tomb Blade just kind of hopped down. So we'll get into Necron shooting. So this Hexmark managed to kill up the last biker. This Tomb Blade and the 5-man squad of Immortals managed to kill off the Obliterator, and the Heavy Destroyer killed off a Space Marine. So that'll take us to the end of this turn, which will take us on over to Chaos and Movement. So the Master of Executions has moved closer to the 5-man squad of Immortals. The Greater Possessed is moving towards this Locust Heavy Destroyer. This tiny remaining squad of Space Marines is looking to take these guys out with long range. And the last squad of Space Marines has finally made it around that corner just in time to determine that they didn't discover the relic. So, Chaos Shooting. So the Master of Execution actually killed an Immortal with his bolt pistol. And then this tiny squad killed 2 more. This entire squad killed off the Tomb Blade. So yeah, that'll take us on over to Chaos Charges, which will be the Master of Executions into this squad of Immortals, and perhaps if he's got the distance, maybe this Greater Possessed into the Heavy Destroyer. So roll on that stuff and come back in a second. I guess it won't be a second. You guys probably won't even notice. So the Master of Executions made it in and slaughtered all of the remaining Necrons out of that squad. And the Greater Possessed made it in and did a point of damage to the Heavy Destroyer, who did a point of damage to him in return. So that'll take us on over to the Necron turn. And to be honest, they don't have to do anything. They can just stand here and do nothing and they win, because at the end of their turn, they've got the relic. So we'll record this as a Necron victory. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. As I might have said in the beginning, I'm pretty sure I've done an open war card game, card related thing, whatever. It was kind of like this. but I think it was like secret plans or something. I don't know. But all variations in the end lead back to a fun game, and this was fun. So, again, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, I appreciate it because I enjoyed it too. So, you guys have a good morning.